A thread by Carlos Osuita. What have I always told you? Hating Donald Trump is a spectrum disorder. If you hate Trump, there's a lot wrong with you. I knew what Toobin was doing the second I heard about this from Vice.com. New Yorker suspends Jeffrey Toobin for masturbating on Zoom call. I had to study depravity because all the women with whom I had relationships were depraved, not bitchy, monstrously depraved sadists ruled by rage. While I underwent intense psychotherapy, I studied depravity. Those who hate Trump are depraved. Any psychiatrist will tell you that early conditioning sets your attractions in concrete. I mentioned before that I asked a psychiatrist to give me the most brutally honest treatment of his career, and he did. Carefully. He was no sadist himself. The proof is that he ended the sessions after 18 months. He was merciless, and I was not defensive. I knew that I'm abnormal, so nothing he said made me angry. Mortified, but not angry. He was helping me, not attacking me. That ordeal was my only choice. I've actually defied medical science, but I'm leaving that for my memoir. Let's just say that if you want improvement bad enough, you can cure yourself of mental disorders that are said to be incurable. But you have to be brutally honest with yourself. The issue of blame doesn't enter the equation. You have a problem, you want a solution. First, you learn why you are the way you are, then you do what you can to change. There are limits. While no longer attracted to psychos, I have no interest in relationships. In fact, the idea of an intimate relationship makes me nauseated because I can't separate it from my formative experiences. That is immutable fact. My brother refuses to accept that about himself. He's shoveling shit against the tide as he careens from one disaster to another. I just know there's someone out there, he says. Well, there is, but my brother won't choose that person. See how it works? Our people choosers are broken forever. And now my brother is hyper defensive. When I speak about myself, he takes offense because he knows in his heart of hearts that what's true about me is true about him. So I speak about myself less and less. Soon our conversations will be entirely superficial. I spent my life tiptoeing around to keep from setting off my siblings and parents. My brother complained about how he hated tiptoeing around, and now I'm in the same situation again. Which is one of the many reasons I'll be moving again someday. My brother supports Trump as much as I do, and he loves Trump's direct manner of speaking. But I can't speak to him directly. Trump haters are packed to the gills with pathology. All Trump has to do is appear on TV and they lose their minds. This is hilarious. Link in the thread to Francia Risa becomes emotional as she talks about getting something like on a bus or something. Our side is getting murdered, and this weirdo has to be hospitalized because she was laughed at. Obviously, she started it. They laughed, and she freaked. We aren't allowed to laugh at Mexicans now. Trump supporters are getting murdered, but we soldier on. This person is chock full of pathology. Trump hate is a spectrum disorder. Leftists today are far worse than any fictional scenario ever dreamed up. They celebrate murder, and when they're laughed at, they have a mental collapse and publicize it, thinking that the world will rally to their side. The clown apocalypse, a term coined by a German flamethrower pioneer to describe the Italian front in World War I. When I use Zoom, I worry about not having a crumb or lint on my shirt. Jeffrey Toobin takes a masturbation break with his colleagues on hold, and he tilts the camera down to show somebody his handiwork. The mindset is depraved. Whatever you repress, you become compulsive about. That's why it's so important to be brutally honest with yourself about yourself. People who do what Toobin did are addicted to risk. What they're doing is dirty, dirty, so it's exciting. He finally got busted, so now he can be punished, which to him is gratifying. His mind is a total mess. Most things are devoid of moral content. That is, they're neither good nor bad. We all agree that crimes are bad. What Toobin did isn't immoral, but it's problematic because it's pathological. Pathology is always problematic. Leftism normalizes all pathology and pathologizes political dissent. All real pathology is normalized. The only crime and mental illness is political dissent. That's why leftists want to abolish prisons and the police. What's so stupid about that is that it means you can't punish the vigilantes who string up the criminals. Law and order will be restored, but it'll be the law and order of Judge Roy Bean. Link in the thread, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, 1972, John Huston, Houston. The country under Biden would be worse than anything we can currently imagine. All the masks are off. Are there any normal people who still support Biden? Any? This is why Trump will win in a landslide. I sure hope you're right. Just kidding. I'm wrong. We're doomed. Biden will win in a landslide. There, I preemptively mocked the sure hopers. Now you don't have to post that comment.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.